Hi guys, I'm Yashvardhan Goel and I'm really excited to be part of Senior Speak, an initiative by Spark Society of Hansraj College, wherein they have created this platform where people like me can interact with the students who are still in the process of becoming a chartered accountant and share our experience and provide some guidance to the people who are in the process. So thank you Spark for this initiative. So I have a list of questions with me which I'll be answering, and I will try to share my experience and provide some tips which I believe will really smoothen your process while you are in the stage of completing the journey. So starting with a brief introduction about myself. So I'm a chartered accountant. I qualified in November 19 with All India rank 7 in my CA final. I have pursued my articleship from Ernst& Young in their transfer pricing domain. I have completed my graduation from Hansraj College, Delhi University. My major was commerce, that's BCom honors. In my inter, I was fortunate to secure rank 20. So that's a brief background about me. Now starting with the question. So the first question which I have is, most students target Big Four firms. You too have a work history in well-known EY. How was your experience working with such a firm? And what in your opinion differentiates EY from other Big Fours? So first of all, I want to break this notion that working in EY, or for that matter any Big Four, should not be undertaken or should not be set as an objective or a milestone to be achieved. The firm where you want to pursue your articleship, this decision has to be a very conscious decision based on various factors, your aspirations, your expectations of where you see yourself in the future, and based on that the decision has to be undertaken. It's not a milestone or an achievement to go for. So yeah, don't have this notion that you mandatorily have to or you should try to get your articleship done from any Big Four. So that's one thing. Now my experience at EY has been really amazing, really memorable, really exciting. Working in a Big Four obviously is a very different experience altogether. It's you constantly work in a corporate environment, and so this kind of helps in your professional grooming. I mean, not in terms of the knowledge, but also in terms of other facets of your personality, be it interpersonal skills, be it communication skills, and to an extent your leadership skills as well. Now, what unique which I found in EY during my experience was their immense knowledge pool which they have built over the years. So this is something which is very unique to EY, and I believe that so there's a portal at EY wherein you can find all the available material, be it any legal guidance or case laws or any expert material on various topics, various practical aspects, which will definitely help in your in our day-to-day working. So this is something very unique. Besides that, in EY the pace of growth is relatively faster, which I think kind of helps you in pushing yourself to realize your true potential. So this is something which I believe is a very positive inducement to your in your professional journey. Besides that, something very unique about EY is again the kind of offsites or team outings which happen there. I believe that they are more frequent as compared to other Big Fours. So those are the times where you make the happy memories and you kind of interact with people whom you are working with on a more personal level, and so that really is a very memorable and enjoyable experience. Coming on to the next question. So it says that, having achieved AR7 in CA final while doing articleship in a Big Four firm, do you believe in the common perception that articleship from a Big Four firm can be a big hurdle in achieving rank in CA final? Now again, I have already said it before that the decision to undertake an articleship from a Big Four versus a non-Big Four has to be a conscious decision based on your aspirations, your expectations of future, and various other factors involved. So again, it doesn't have to be a milestone to be achieved. Um Talking about my experience, so my experience at EY was rather an enabler to my journey towards rank. Uh, the kind of environment you are involved in, it always, you always are in a push to stretch and to realize your true potential. So you actually realize that you are capable of achieving whatever you aspire to. So I totally disagree with this perception that Big Four articleship at Big Four is a hurdle in your CA journey. And moreover, if you see the facts, so you will find people who have succeeded while doing articleship in a Big Four, and you will find people who have not succeeded even if they were not Big Four articles. So I believe that it takes perseverance, hard work, and dedication rather than the choice of doing the articleship to achieve whatever you aspire to. So I totally disagree with this common perception. Now, the next question which I have is, how do you manage both CA and CFA simultaneously? What is the suggested planning for that? And what other combinations of professional courses are most sought after these days? So yeah, it was tough. It was very tough because you have to manage your office responsibilities, and at that time when I was studying for CFA, I had to start my CA coachings as well. So it was tough, but it was not impossible. And the key is time management. I mean, I know there were days where I used to get up early in the morning, go for my coachings, then I used to get a half an hour, 40 minutes break from my coaching till I have to get into the office. So I used to utilize that time for studying for my CFA. Then after coming back from office, I again used to utilize whatever remaining time I had at the end of the day to study for the CFA. So it's all about how you manage your time. The 24 hours you get in a day are very ample, and the way you plan your time, I mean, you will be able to manage it very smoothly. So basically, in terms of planning, what you can do is, first of all, just work out how you are going to study, work out a list of the subjects you want to prepare, and how much the amount of time you need for these subjects. Then accordingly make a timetable, not a very I would say a strict timetable, but rather a broad timetable, that how you will be able to squeeze out time from your schedule and how you will be devoting this time. So in my case, I gave my CFA level 2 exam in June 2018, if I remember. And so I started my preparation from December 2017, and at the same time I had to start my CA coachings as well. So as I mentioned that I made a list of the subjects which I want to study in CFA and the amount of time it will take for these subjects, and accordingly I allocated the time for the respective subjects. So in a day I used to get probably around 2 hours, and I think that is more than enough for a weekday. In weekends you can put in little extra hours to cover up whatever you are not able to do during the weekdays. So that's how you can manage the time. Again, the bottom line is that hard work and dedication is very, very important. I mean, if you really believe that you can do it, then you will definitely do it. Now coming on to the next question. So the next question is, preparation for courses like CA takes up a great amount of your time and energy. How can a person in such case manage to gain other skill sets that now have become prerequisites to make a way in corporate? And what skills, according to you, will be the most feasible ones to acquire while preparing for the exams? So basically, the answer to this question is your articleship journey. I mean, the kind of grooming you get throughout your articleship, that takes care of the soft skills, to say, which you will be imbibing and which you will be able to incorporate in yourself apart from the technical knowledge you will gain through your journey. So do consider articleship seriously. I am stressing it again. Consider your articleship journey seriously. I know it's really tough. You constantly have this diverted attention towards your studies, but please do consider your articleship journey very, very seriously. Start taking up ownership of the work you are getting. You know, try to talk to people more. I mean, you have seniors available in office, you frequently interact with clients, so try to take ownership of the conversations which you are having during this articleship experience, and always try to learn something out of those conversations. So this is how you will develop your interpersonal skills, your leadership skills, your communication skills, which are really very important and very much needed in your career ahead. So the next question is, according to you, which courses and careers are going to bloom and have great value in the coming few years in the corporate world? Also, I missed a question, I guess. So there was this question on what combinations of professional courses are most sought after these days. So I'll answer these two questions together. Now, first of all, there is no hard and fast rule as such as to what kind of courses you have to undertake. It totally depends upon in which area or in which domain you want your career to shape into in the future, and what is the kind of expertise or the kind of skill sets you want to build, and that's how you make a decision. So in my case, uh, obviously I was pursuing CA, and probably in my college days I realized that I have an interest in finance and I really want to understand finance and how does it work, how does stock market work. And so probably this was my inspiration to go for CFA, which nowadays has been a very popular combination. But again, there is no rule as such. You have to evaluate your interests, your aspirations, and see what are the available options with you based on your interests and aspirations, and accordingly make a decision. But also, it is very important to consider the time you have with yourself. I mean, you should allocate, you should be able to manage your time as well, and not lose out on all the courses in the process. So that has to be a very relevant factor as well. So accordingly, you can make a decision. Now coming on to the courses and careers which are going to bloom in future. So I believe that it's not the courses and the careers which are going to bloom, rather the kind of skills which are going to bloom in the future. We should think it that ways. So one very important skill is the soft skill aspects, which includes the way you communicate, the way you interact with others. So this is very, very important, and it has been important in the past, and its importance is just going to grow in the future. The second skill is your leadership skills, because as you grow further in your career, you will be leading a team, you will be managing various person who are involved in the team. So it's very important to develop leadership skills. It's very important to have that vision of future, and to be able to communicate that vision with your team, and also to execute that vision. So leadership skill is really very important. Plus, with the increased amount of automation in any workplace, so we constantly need to align our technical knowledge, our technical skill sets with these automations happening in our work environment. So I believe these are the few skills which you really need to imbibe if you want to succeed in your future. And the last question is, what is your advice to the young students who are planning to tread a difficult career path like you? Now, first of all, every career path is difficult. It has its own set of challenges, its own set of problems, and you have to deal with it. And that's how you grow as a person. So it's really very important to not think of it as a challenge, rather think of it as a roller coaster ride and really enjoy the experience there. And my advice would be to be focused, be aware of your surroundings, what is happening in your surroundings, what are the kind of skills which are being evolving, what people are what kind of skills or what kind of careers people are running after. And also to be self aware of your interests and aspirations, and then accordingly make your career decisions, make your professional decisions, and I'm sure they will work out best for you. I hope I was able to share my experience and guide you all. Thank you so much once again, Spark Society, for this initiative. uh, quick remark, probably. So to all the students who are still in the journey, I'll be really happy to connect with you. You can approach me anytime, you can text me, and you can connect with me for any queries you have if probably it was not answered in this session. So you can definitely reach out to me for any queries, be it your articleship related, be it preparation related, anything. I'll be really happy to take them. Thank you so much, Spark Society, once again. All the best to all the students.